Ready, sir?
Ready.
Good evening, everyone. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, March 12th, 2025, at 7 p.m. Roll call, please, Clerk Tomasco.
Trustee Burbett?
Here.
Trustee Cagney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hilly?
Here.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Killily?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Sir, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our fallen veterans. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'll open the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Do it.
Good evening. I just want to first thank the board and Public Works for coming out yesterday and fixing some really bad potholes that were really deep. So thank you for doing that. It was much needed. But I have a couple questions, and the first question is this. What is the plan and the long-term solution for these roads that are just falling apart? Like, I can tell you right now, what was patched yesterday has been patched 3 times, and patch only works for so long, and then it just falls apart again. So that's my first question. And my second question is, who is responsible for the road that goes from the corner of Margaret Curtis and Laramie down into the country club? So, you know, like if you come in through the turnpike onto Laramie, from that corner, Margaret Curtis going south, who's responsible for that?
A lot of that is country club. It's about where the houses stop up from Margaret Curtis, like through backyards, where that line would go across. Then forward would be us and Crestwood. It's a mixture, it's split down the middle. But from going south from backyards of Margaret Curtis to the country club, our country club.
That's all country club, okay.
We have put coal patch in there because they don't really take care of it like they
Yeah.
should. So we have added coal patch here and there when it needs it.
Yeah. And I think there was some done yesterday, because it looked fresh, but, you know, it only went so far. But as you go down where it narrows more,
Yeah.
those roads are completely falling apart. I mean, the holes that have been there for years now, they're just getting wider and wider. But, you know, again, I'm concerned about that because I travel that and several of us travel that. But I'm also concerned about the holes that continue to get patched and they're falling apart. I mean, what's the long-term solution for that? What's the plan?
The village only has a certain amount of money per year, and we try to pick the worst roads. And I know from your point of view, it looks bad, but some other roads are much worse. So we have to.
Well, I can be honest with you, one of my vehicles sits low on the ground. I mean, literally, it sits low. And that one hole was, it really would break something. I mean, I would try to come in through the other way of the subdivision just to avoid those holes. So there, you know, again, that doesn't make me feel good that it's, you know, I mean, I understand that, but we still can't just keep patching, and at some point, there has to be a plan to get to the Midlothian side that is west of Cicero. I mean, I don't know, is most of the work east of Cicero? I don't know.
Most of it.
So is there going to be a plan at some point to fix these?
Hopefully.
Is there a plan, you want to talk about the CDBG grants that we apply for very often? We get, every other year probably, get money from,
I mean, recently the maps got changed, and I know some of that portion of town is starting to become actually eligible for CDBG funding. So we can definitely work it into, probably the application cycle and see if we can get some funding to do some of those areas.
Okay.
you're working on one now, CDBG grant?
I am, yes.
It's not for roads, though.
It's not for roads.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for some water work. It's a little too late to pivot at this point
Yeah.
to try to do a road program, but
My point is that we apply often for CDBG.
we apply for CDBG
We
hours.
use for roads.
Okay.
mostly.
All right, it's, you know, just so I know that at some point, you know, they're going to be addressed, because,
We did do one road east of Cicero, I think, 2 years ago.
west,
West.
I'm
I
west,
meant west.
yeah. It's not far enough west, obviously, but,
Yeah.
you know, so, again, I'm just saying that these particular holes that were fixed yesterday, Public Works has been out multiple times, and I can count at least 3 times that they fixed those same holes.
And
they're
these
just
holes are
getting.
on public road, not on country club road?
No, well,
Property?
some of them are as you come in off the turnpike, you know, there are some, and they did patch even some of those, but I'm talking into the subdivision, as you're, you know, gonna go east on Margaret Curtis, as you're coming in there, it's just completely just broken up. But now it's patched up, so, yeah,
We could definitely consider it
Okay.
for next program.
okay. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, then I'll close the floor to public comment, move on to tonight's consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda, number 1, approval of ordinance number 2165, an ordinance abating certain portions of the 2024 tax levy. Number 2, approval to engage Crow LLP for the fiscal year 25 audits in the amount of $73,770,000. Number 3, approval of the Max Creed invoice 751-1 in the amount not to exceed $26,810. Number 4, approval of the Max Creed invoice number 751-2 in the amount not to exceed $9,200. Number 5, approval of the Raven Metals LLC invoice in the amount not to exceed $2,250. Number 6, approval of the Brandon Communications, Inc. annual preventive maintenance agreement fee for the 2 outdoor warning sirens in Midlothian in the amount of $1,480. Number 7, approval to compensate the health inspector based on a flat fee per inspection as discussed in the February 19, 2025 executive session. Number 8, approval of the January 2025 Building Department monthly report. Number 9, approval of the February 26, 2025 board meeting minutes. Number 10, approval of the February 26, 2025 closed session meeting minutes. And number 11, approval of the list of bills. Is there any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda? Hearing no dissension, I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as read.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Marshall.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Burbett.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to trustee business, trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to bring to the board's attention a project that I have been working on for a while now, and I think we're at a point where I'd like to discuss it with the board and actually with the residents. So the Village of Midlothian has been looking at eliminating the need to purchase village stickers. Stickers have been a method that many municipalities have used over the last 50 years to raise funds to support the municipalities. We're starting to see that more and more municipalities are actually deciding not to have village or vehicle stickers, and we're no different. So the mayor asked me to explore the idea of eliminating the purchase of the stickers and at the same time keeping the revenue generated by the stickers to support the village's operations. But before I get into details, I'd like to thank the front office staff, the finance department, and the finance committee for providing data, information, and ideas to get us to where we are here today. So in doing some research, since 2017, the number of purchased vehicle stickers has gone down by approximately 30%. During that time, our revenue has dropped approximately 32%. So we need to look at being creative and thinking out of the box. So why eliminate the stickers? What's the benefits? So from a procedural point of view, we're not creating stickers, we're not mailing stickers, staff's not devoting time to stickers. From a police department point of view, or actually an enforcement point of view, we're not writing citations for non-compliance. This frees up officers to be able to continue to make Midlothian safe because they're able to do other things. From a resident point of view, we think that this will save time and money by not coming into the front office, by not filling out new applications for new cars. My favorite, not scraping the old stickers off your car windows. A lot of people hate doing that, so I think that would be a huge thing. So under this proposal, what we're thinking is that village residents would pay a fee. Let me get the name of that, because we just came up with it. A street enhancement fee. And this, I guess, goes to kind of the conversation we just had about improving roads. What we'd like to do is we'd like to provide the fee on the water bills. As you know, in the water bills, we have an administrative fee, we have an infrastructure fee, we have another fees. So while we're eliminating the actual physical sticker, we still need the revenue. And so instead of paying for each vehicle you own, you would pay a quarterly fee, which we're finalizing, we're crunching the numbers to determine where, I hope that we'll have the final figures at the next board meeting for that. We think this would be a good way of helping residents to pay for this. You'd pay it 4 times a year versus paying once a year. So in my case, my household pays currently $120 a year for village stickers. And in the new approach, you would actually pay that lesser amount for that. Also, we need to work with the village attorney to update the ordinance for the water bill. We need to work with the village attorney to have a resolution to repeal the village or the vehicle stickers. And then we need to bring it back to the board for their discussion. So I just wanted to provide an overview of this proposal that we've been working on. I'll have more details in 2 weeks, but I wanted to see if there were any questions, any comments that you all have.
Just some add to it. Actually, the vehicle stickers, when they started, they were for our police officers to be able to identify a vehicle that belonged in Midlothian. We have a no overnight parking on the street ordinance, and it was easy for our officers to visualize that that car belonged in Midlothian. Stickers were very cheap back then. Maybe over time it became a revenue source, but now with the advent of the license plate readers and stuff, I don't think you're as concerned about that as well, Chief. But anyway, yeah, thank you for everything. But you know, like if we do a street enhancement fee, I think that means it would have to be only used on streets. So maybe the wording is something we could work
Right, and also just to make sure the residents know, this is not an increased fee. This is not an addition. This is basically taking what you've paid for with vehicle stickers, and actually it'll probably be about 50% less than what you're currently paying, and it will be charged over 4 payments, so actually it's more a manageable amount. And you know, I'll have, like as I said, I'll have more information in about 2 weeks. So any other questions? Otherwise, I just want to make the board aware.
Thank you. Good?
That's it, yes, thank you.
Trustee Burbank.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing I had on the agenda this evening was approval of the Public Works Collective Bargaining Agreement. I'd like to push that back to the closed session, so we have further discussion on that.
Well, the discussion of it would be in closed session, but the approval would be in
Right.
public session.
I'm also making a motion to approve Resolution 025-312-A-A, which is the resolution authorizing the village's participation in the 2025 program year Cook County Community Development Block Grant Program.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, clerk. First.
Trustee Burbatt.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Hilly.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Caveney.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing I would like to do is I just want to point out, highlight something that's in the building department's report. They've been including a graph that shows number of permits issued, permit applications, and building inspections. I just wanted to point out that in 2024, in May, June, and July, the building department issued the most permits in those 3 months than had ever been issued in months previous from 2021. So in those 4 years, May, June, and July, they issued 139 permits, 148 permits, and 130 permits. And that's while being short-staffed without a building superintendent to help with that load during that time. So I just wanted to point that out, that those were big months for the building department. Their productivity was very, very good in issuing permits. And I just wanted to give some kudos to them publicly for that. Next item. State Farm Building at 147 the Colmar. They began demo on Monday, I believe, but they had to stop the project because there was some suspect material found to be in one of the foundations. The original foundation that was in the building is not the original, that we thought was the original floor that everybody walked on for the last 20 years, was not the original foundation. I had talked to the prior owner, and he told me today, back in the day, that building was used as a boat shop. And so the floor was about 12 inches lower in that building. They had gotten a flood, hit a lot of water, so they decided to raise the floor. So they backfilled it with crushed stone, poured another concrete pad over it, and that was the floor that has been used. So, but the contractor wasn't sure what the material was, so they're gonna be doing some asbestos testing just to be on the safe side. So, do you know, Dave, how long it'll take to get the test back?
We're gonna do the sampling tomorrow, and
Uh-huh.
then we're gonna rush the testing.
A week or so, two weeks?
More like days.
Oh, okay, okay.
I would say 3 business days.
Oh, okay, I wasn't
So we
expecting that, I was thinking a week or two, that's
We
fine.
should know early next week.
Okay, so I just wanted to let everybody know that if you will have seen that the work has been halted and the gate has been locked, and that's the reason why. So we will keep you posted on that. Also, Mayor, for some reason, the Cook County Treasurer and the Cook County Assessor cannot seem to get their record straight. They still keep sending the tax bills to the former owners. I'm not sure why the Village of Midlothian isn't listed on those pins, so the tax bills come here, but furthermore, the tax bills still are showing that taxes are owed. So could you, and I know that Attorney Murphy submitted the documentation, so the village has done its part. The village has submitted the proper documentation so that we shouldn't be paying taxes on these parcels. Could you reach out to Assessor Kagi's office and find out what the issue is?
I believe Director Redmond found a slight error in the filing of the paperwork.
Yes,
Oh,
it had to give municipalities any money, which has been corrected.
okay then.
So that'll be corrected
Yes, when Attorney Murphy resubmits, yes,
in retro and going forward.
yes.
Thank you. Also, Superintendent Ganaka and I are interviewing vendors for the project to review the 2024 ICC codes. We've got a meeting, we received a quote today from one company, and we're having a meeting with another one tomorrow. So we'll compare it to the quote that we received from Lakeside and take it from there. And for the time being, that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Kilby.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Crowley.
Thank you, sir. Just a couple informational things. Last week I brought to the board, we had an emergency situation with regard to our backup system and the replacement of some of the machinery that we needed to do. I did forward that PDF quote to the village board today, and I did approve it as soon as I got it. So we'll be moving forward with that. I've asked Clerk Harris to add it to the agenda for our next board meeting for consent. The total is under $1,500, so the machinery is free from the backup company. It's just the labor and that to install and remove. Next, over the next couple of weeks, I will be bringing another TIF application to the village board for 3835 147th Street. This is the State Farm Building. They are in the process of upgrading their outside facade, windows, doors, things like that. So as soon as I have that document, I will be putting it on the agenda for discussion and for approval. That is all I have to say, yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to department heads. Chief Hotwagner.
I have nothing to say, sir.
Thank you, sir. Chief Delaney.
Nothing to say, sir.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Kanaka. I almost called you chief.
Trustee Cabot took the words out of my mouth. Nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Happens to the best of us.
Superintendent Swanson.
Yes, sir. April 7th, Monday, April 7th starts the spring branch pickup in the northeast section. Please have your branches out in an orderly fashion, cut ends toward the streets, so it's easier for our guys to pick up. And also, we ask the residents to keep filling out the access agreements for the phase 1. Last I talked to Jeremy from Calumet City, we had upwards of 150 new signups in that section. So things are moving forward. And that's it, sir.
Thank you, sir. Engineer Plato.
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to thank the residents who came out for the open house that we did just before this meeting for the next phase of the lead service line replacement. It was a good meeting, a lot of good questions, good information. And then I did want to alert residents that we do have 3 streets that are left over from last year's road program, which we delayed due to lead service line replacements that might get started next week or the week after. The contractor told us March 20th. That was a while ago, but they want to come back in at the end of March. So those streets are Central Park Avenue from 147th to 146th, Lawndale from 148th Place to 149th Street, then Springfield from 151st to 150th. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, sir. Deputy Clerk Harris.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Director Redmond.
No reports from my mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Valdez.
Nothing this evening.
Thank you. I have nothing as well. Clerk Masco.
I just have one item, update for the board. You recall several weeks ago, I shared that we were contacted by Board Docs about an upgrade of our Board Doc system to Diligent Community. When we sent the agreement back to them, they reached out to Deputy Clerk Harris, admitting that they had made a mistake when they looked at our SUP, and they did not realize that we have committees using the software as well too, and that's an additional module. As a result of their mistake, they offered to give us a 50% discount on the additional amount, which was $1,000. So I'm just advising the board of that. They don't know that we have a choice to not do it because the committee's actively using it. But this will be in addition to what we already agreed to. And that is all I have.
Thank you, sir. Then at this time, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are in closed session. There will be action following closed session. Department heads, there's no reason for you guys to stay, please. So, thank you. Except for you.
Who's you?
At this time, I'm looking for a motion to return to open session.
I'll make the motion.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we're back in open session. Trustee Burback.
Here.
You gotta make your motion.
I'll be okay in a
Thank
while.
What are we here for? What are we here for?
Thanks for still being here.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement.
With the Public Works Union.
Public Works.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Moskowitz.
never mind.
Roll call, please, Clerk Moskowitz.
Trustee Burback?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Keating?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Hilly?
Aye.
Trustee Killily?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. And I want to thank all of you up here, the decision makers up on this board, your time and effort in bringing this to a conclusion. It was rough, but thank you all so much for everything you've done. Director Redmond, I already talked to her earlier. I want to thank her and her finance department for her timely reporting and information. Trustee Crowley was really on that, and Director Redmond really came through with for us. Ty and Andy, well done, man. Well done. You guys really came through. And Attorney Valdez, you performed superbly in some very stressful situations, so you have the floor.
Thank you, and I appreciate those compliments. I am pleased to report that the Public Works Union strike has been settled and the department is back to work with unionized staff. I do not wish to add to the controversy that surrounded the work stoppage, but I believe village residents are entitled to know the truth regarding the process, village operations, and the conduct of village officials. As lead negotiator for the village collective bargaining agreements, the village board tasked me with securing contract with village bargaining units. The main criteria in getting a contract are: 1, the village ability to afford the contract; 2, that village residents are better served by the contract; and 3, that the contract is fair for village employees. In the heat of contract negotiations, some things may be said that are regrettable. Some things may be done that reveal the true character of the parties. I want to thank the fire department for maintaining emergency service vehicles while avoiding obstacles parked in and around the fire lanes, Firehouse 1, during the strike. I want to thank the police department for exercising restraint while subjugated to insult, for enforcing village ordinances and maintaining order in the village during the strike. I want to thank Ty Swanson and Andy Bisarchik for taking matter into their own hands and repairing a water main leak, costing the village thousands of gallons of water while being followed everywhere they went in an attempt to delay repair. I want to personally thank Mayor LaRue for staying focused on the bargaining process, even when unknown strangers were stationed outside his home, his union home, and others followed him to work, costing him union work. I can attest to the fact that he reserves the full power of his office to serve the residents of the village and not to hurt unions. I would like to clarify a couple of false statements that were bantered about during the social media blitz during the process. One was that the village board did not send to the bargaining table people who could make a deal, and they walked away from the bargaining table. The simple truth is that the bargaining team only left the bargaining table for one reason: to get the employees more money, which resulted in the village increasing its offer no less than 7 times during the bargaining process. Finally, there was one comment that would be a disservice to the village and its residents if not responded to. It was likely instigated by individuals who never paid real estate taxes in the village or ever put their name on a ballot for election in the village. The post read, "Shame on the village." Having seen firsthand the stress the work stoppage had on village officials and the time they devoted to pounding out a contract, I can tell you the comment was grossly misinformed and just plain wrong. If there was 1,000 words that could be reasonably used to describe the village response by the president, board, and staff, by their conduct during the strike, the top 3 words would be graceful, professional, and fair. Shame wouldn't even make the list. The village has 3 more bargaining agreements to negotiate in the upcoming months, and I am confident that we will continue good faith bargaining, will secure contracts that serve the best interest of our valued employees and the village residents. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Is there any trustee who would like to make a comment?
I would. In the union CBA, there's language that states that if one of our employees receives a citation, like a speeding ticket or a parking citation, they are to notify their supervisor right away, and then it's their personal responsibility to take care of said citation. I am really disgusted at number 12 in this document that reads, "The village will dismiss all parking citations issued to local 150 business agents." The business agents are there to negotiate on behalf of their members in good faith, to come to a resolution and get their employees a contract. They shouldn't be given a pass because they fail to abide by our village, parking laws or what have you. So I'm just totally disgusted with the business agents. This has nothing to do with our employees, but it's the business agents who are negotiating on their behalf.
Thank you. All right, seeing there's no further business to come before the board, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.